especially when it comes to infrastructure and things like that. It's always an exciting time in India now. And some of the story that we are about to talk about sort of blends in right there. So I'll spend some time talking about it. In general, what the Amazon exports business does, and then we'll specifically talk about the Propel Accelerator and what its purpose is and so on. Yeah? So, like Aditya mentioned, my name is Bhupen Okankar. I'm about 8 years in Amazon now. I lead a business that is called Amazon Global Trade, which is exclusively targeting exports out of India. So this is different from the Amazon.in business that most of us are very familiar with. It's a very different organization targeting. The seller base sometimes is the same. People who sell in India also export, but most of the time we've seen that seller base is also very, very different, right? So Amazon Global Trade started in 2015 as a very small business with about 100 sellers. However, over the course of the last 5, 7 or 8 years, we have now crossed 1 lakh exporters who have ever exported on our platform. So it has grown quite significantly. We have made a pledge that Amazon Global Trade will deliver $20 billion in cumulative exports by 2025. Right? And that is sort of our guiding mantra, if you will, that we've been working towards. We are quite excited about how things are progressing, especially in the last sort of 18 to 24 months. In fact, when we first made the pledge in 2020, we thought we would be able to do only $10 billion by 2025. But halfway in last May, we basically saw enough. Whatever we said in 2020, we actually said we are now going to double it. So instead of $10 billion, we will now deliver $20 billion in cumulative exports by 2025. And it's all thanks to sort of the run-up that we are seeing in 2021 and 2022, right? So that is sort of the broad story. As I mentioned, there is about 1 lakh exporters who have participated in this program so far. What we have seen in the last 18 to 24 months is a lot of early stage companies are also now starting to get onto the exports platform, if you will, right? And that is the part that got us very interested in how we can support these companies right from the beginning. So in 2021, we did the first season of this Propel Accelerator. It is meant for early stage startups, startups who have not even gotten maybe first round of funding, who can come and understand the Amazon exports platform and learn from the ecosystem. So we've created 8 to 10 weeks of accelerated learning where they understand how to use Amazon tools and techniques. We also create interactions with industry leaders on different topics such as company building, such as marketing, such as brand building, and so on. And we put them in a cohort of companies that are similar to each other so that they can also learn from each other. So that's what an accelerator is. Season 1 in 2021, we had about 500 applicants and we had down selected 10 finalists. Last year, we wanted to go bigger because the interest was so high. In fact, we got over 1,000 applications from over 100 cities all over the country, including many from Andhra Pradesh. We had down selected 15 finalists last year.
Only 15?
15. Yeah.
In 1,000?
Over 1,000 applications. The interest was very large. We were basically, will we be able to cater to so much demand? This year, what we have said is clearly 15 is not enough. We really wanted to go a lot bigger and serve as many startups as possible all over the country, right? So this year we have sort of gone more than 3x. We want to get to 50 finalists this year. 50, right? And that is all thanks to sort of the interest that we are seeing. And we want to make sure that the ecosystem of Amazon, startups, industry veterans, venture capitalists all come together and jointly sort of encourage the startups. And that's the idea. So in each of the sections, we are sort of growing bigger. One is we just going to do 50 finalists. What we are also doing is getting more VC partners into the term. So last year, for example, we had 4 venture capitalist partners. This year we have 6 venture capitalists who will do equity investments if they wanted to, and we have also added 2 new partners called Velocity and Club, which do revenue-based financing, which is debt financing. So if the founders don't want to dilute their equity, but they just want to take loans, then they work with Velocity and Club and raise debt instruments. So we are getting more participants from the ecosystem as well. The third thing that we are doing is we are also enriching Amazon's offerings that are coming as part of the program. So for example, this year what is new is, as part of the program, they used to get account management and onboarding support. We are going to extend that support for 1 year past the program. So 1 full year of account management support and logistics support. Amazon has, last year in September, we launched a program called Send, which makes it very easy for Indian exporters to move their goods across to different warehouses that Amazon has all over the world. So that program was not available for season 2 because it launched afterwards. So this year we have incorporated that as well. Overall, Amazon is offering $1.5 million in sort of different credits, if you will. $100,000 of equity-free grant for the top 3 winners this year. And the rest is credits in terms of AWS, ads, so on, which is all needed for digital marketing and sort of building a digital business on Amazon, right? So effectively, if you look at the 2-3 points that I talked about, the program has gone bigger on 3 fronts. One is just the finalists. We have 50. We are actually getting more players in the ecosystem to partner with us in terms of VCs and that one. And then we are, of course, enriching the offerings that are available to the finalists. Okay, so let me sort of stop here and see if that made sense. If there are any questions here, I would actually love to talk a lot more about what's happening, what we are seeing in Andhra Pradesh, what categories are doing well, and so on. But I wanted to just make sure if the base sort of setup was clean, and if there are any questions.